Hey, good evening. John again, trying to get a low rarity score in Immaculate Grid. It's what I do pretty much every night. Yesterday I had some rough luck. I wasn't able to get the video to save, so I had to make one of those embarrassing apology here's what I did videos. But I didn't get it right either. I had Harvey Haddix for the top right. That was Pirates 200 strikeouts. Now, I knew Garrett Cole would work. I also knew he was going to do really well. I think he was over 70% at the time I was playing. Um, I think I suspected Burnett would work. But the other people who worked were there was one pitcher from the 60s, a gentleman named I believe Bob Veal, if I'm remembering that right, and then pitcher Ed Morris, who actually showed on the video after having not gotten it. He pitched in the 1880s and had like 550 innings and 320 strikeouts. It's a impressive workload, real good innings eater. In any event, let's just get into it. Start playing. Go for a little bit of redemption here. There's Immaculate Grid. Hit and refresh. All right, so we've got our accomplishment is 30 stolen bases. We're gonna have to line that up with the Twins, Phillies, and Mariners. That's interesting. Okay. All right. See if we can do that. And then on top we got Royals and Padres. Um, cool. This will be interesting. Let's see. Right off the bat, how about Danny Tartable down here? I was pronouncing. I know he went by Bull. He played with both teams. Takes 3%. Okay. I thought he wasn't that prominent really with the Mariners. He played a couple seasons before going to the Royals. But yeah, Raul Bianas also would have been an interesting pick there. Yeah, I'm sure there was a handful of others. Man, Royals and Twins, that'll be an interesting one. For Padres and Twins, I think I'm gonna go with Jeff Cirillo, although he'll also work for Padres and Mariners, but I can think of at least a couple for that one. So I'm gonna go Cirillo there. Takes 0.1%. Love Jeff Cirillo. Very, very intense ball player. He was fun to watch. Let's see here. Padres and Phillies. Oh, let's see. Benito Santiago will work. I think Ron Gant will work. I want to say will Phil Plantier work. Actually, I'm kind of blanking on that guy's career. I'm gonna not do him just because I'm not certain. Randy Wolf will work. Who's the most obscure of the people I just named? That's always the $1 million question here. I don't think it's Santiago. Let's go with Ron Gant. Ron Gant play for the Phillies? Now I'm second guessing even that. I'm pretty sure he did though. Show me Ron Gant, 0.5%. All right. Padres and Mariners. Mike Cameron was the one that whose name came to mind first. And I enjoy Mike Cameron. He's a great ball player. He'll also work over here. Obviously, so will Ichiro. A-Rod will work. Um, other people 30 stolen bases. I'm trying to think. Twins are also the Washington Nationals. Who are some old-timey Washington Senators who might have stolen 30 bases? Not coming up with any off the top of my head. This is a little bit the benefit of having an older team. Like yesterday, some people were posting in the comments like we're getting old house Radborn in there and stuff. The Twins are go back to 1901 via the Washington Senators. The Royals and San Diego Padres, they were expansion teams the same year, 1969. Um, so you can only go back a bit there, and that kind of narrows the range of people that we're going to be playing with. So the one you could really go back on is well, either one of these. Um, Where if no, we've established that Nap Lajoie won't work. He was a Philly though, but he never stole 30 bases ever. So we'll make sure not to play that one. Um if I think Juan Samuel will definitely work here. I think he stole 70 bases one year, actually. Um I think Billy Hamilton, the the original Billy Hamilton from the late 19th century. I believe he played for the Braves and Phillies. He stole a lot of bases. I gotta believe he had a 30 stolen base season. Let's make sure we select the right one. Billy Hamilton. This guy. 1%. It's a nice grin. The other guys from the 1800s yesterday, they were looking at me with like intensity, or I guess in Rube Waddell's case, it was the late or the early 20th century. But they had some intense looks. This guy seems pretty cheerful. Um, let's see. Circling back here, Vince Coleman briefly played for the Mariners. He can be very much seen like leaping into Griffey's arms after he scores that winning run in the 95 ALDS. But I don't think he played long enough to get 30 stolen bases. Um, and let's see here for the other options. I mean, the Mariners were an expansion team in the 70s. Harold Reynolds will work. That would be an interesting pick. I think Ichiro is going to be by far the most popular. A-Rod will get a sizable chunk. I think Mike Cameron will do all right, except I can't. I'm trying to come up with someone besides. I thought I had another one, but I'm blanking on who I was thinking of. So right now I'm kind of saving Mike Cameron for Padres Mariners. He played for both teams. Um, and yeah, let's lock in. Let's lock in Harold Reynolds. See how he did. How he does. 9%. Okay, a little bit higher. That's all right. I guess I might as well use Mike Cameron down here. Unless I can think of anyone else, but I'm sure there's a bunch of others. I'm sure we'll bring this up, and there'll be like 120 guys, and probably about 5 of them are people I would have or should have been able to get. Um, so he takes 7%. All right, so I'm not getting a super great rarity score. Just on the bottom row there with the Mariners. Man, I'm even a Seattle. Well, I was temporarily a Seattle guy living in the area. I've got an Edgar Martinez sign over my shoulder there. But yeah, just with the Mariners, I'm almost at 20%. So, um, let's see. And these ones are kind of tough. I think Carew was stealing at a 30 stolen base clip earlier in his career. Um, I gotta believe Versalles did it when he had to. I feel like he had to have stolen a bunch of bases because he wasn't that great a hitter for the 65 Twins. But I do know he had a pretty good WAR, so it could have all been defense. In fact, let's do that as an educated guess. Let's go with the 1965 MVP. Let's see if he had 30 stolen bases. He did not. I lose 2 days in a row. All right. Well, I don't know. That was gonna be good. Chuck Knobloch will work. I'm sure there's better ones. Oh, what about did Otis Nixon? Is that one of the teams he actually played a lot with? All right. That would have been better, obviously. All right. So let's see here. I've got Royals and Twins, and then I've got Royals and Phillies. So gotta be able to get one of these. Um, it's really this one shouldn't doesn't seem like it should be a big struggle, but I guess the Twins and Royals aren't going to trade much within their division. Um, and then the Phillies and Royals, let's see, faced off in the 1980 World Series. Irrelevant, but fun fact. How about Bob Boone? He'll work for Phillies and Royals. Let's throw him in there. And I'm trying to think, Royals and Twins. I gotta be able to come up with someone, even though it's not going to count. But Royals and Twins. Let's see, just going around the horn a little bit with some Twins. Again, I always default to the. Oh, Gary Gaetti will work. That's one I could have gone with, Gary Gaetti. All right, so Michael Taylor's the guy there. Carlos Santana makes a couple of these categories. He's a Brewer. I was right about Carew, and he was actually the most popular. Um, Under 50%, so no need to feel too bad about that. Let's see here. There have been 21 people between the Senators and Twins to steal over 20 bases. This was a weirdly hard one. Yeah, Ben Revere, I guess, is the most recent one. And if you really go back, I don't know if I was going to get any of these Senators. Sam Rice, maybe. I've heard of him. George Case, I've never heard of, but he was a speedster. He led the league in stolen bases 5 different years in a row, no less. 5 years in a row, George Case. Never heard of this guy. I think I have heard of this Clyde Milan fella, but not in a while. It's been a while since I've. Larry Heisel, future Brewer. He drove in over. He was more of a power guy with the Brewers. So he had I think he leads the league in RBI the very next season, if I'm not mistaken. Anyway, yeah, Carew did it 4 separate times. Knobloch did a bunch of times. I'm surprised Knobloch wasn't more popular. Nixon does it once. So I did get him. Former Brewer Carlos Gomez did it. So I should have been able to do a lot better on that one. Let's see what other Mariners could I have picked for 30 some? Julio Rodriguez this season. D. Gordon, Ichiro a bunch of times. Mike Cameron a couple times. I mentioned Mike Cameron. Ricky Henderson was able to get 30 stolen bases as a Mariner. That's pretty cool. A-Rod I mentioned. Julio Cruz Sr. I did not mention. I should have been able to get Julio Cruz. All right. Well, for my last two. We'll try to have a redemption weekend. But thanks for playing along and leaving all the comments warms my heart. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a happy rest of your Thursday. Have a good night.